I'm Max Lopez. This is the Blue Wave. We're going to look at a clip here from CNN where Jake Tapper is interviewing Nancy Pelosi, and it really highlights just how bad CNN has gotten with their both sidesing and really watering down Trump's insanity and trying to make it appear like it's normal and like it's something that we just have to deal with and put up with. Let's watch this clip from CNN with Jake Tapper interviewing Nancy Pelosi.
Out more votes.
I'm sure that you hear from progressive voters, Democratic voters who say, as I hear from them on social media, the media made such a big deal out of Joe Biden's alleged cognitive problems. Why don't they talk about Donald Trump's cognitive problems? Well, Donald Trump talked about that just a second ago, and I want to get your reaction. Let's run that clip.
They laugh at us all over the world. They're laughing at us. And you know what they're really laughing at? Kamala, because they can't believe that she's going to be president. They can't believe. You talk about cognitive problems? She's got bigger cognitive problems than he has, in my opinion.
Donald Trump saying that Kamala Harris has bigger cognitive problems than Joe Biden.
Why would you even cover that? This is a person who's not on the level. He is their nominee for president. He is incompetent. Let's not even talk about the silliness of it all and the weirdness of it all and the assault on women that it is. We're not going to talk issues. Incompetent. The only thing he did as president, when he had the majority, was to pass a bill that gave 83 tax cut that gave 83 of the benefits to the top 1%, adding $2 trillion to the national debt. The worst job creation record of anybody president since Herbert Hoover.
Because of COVID, yes.
Well, it's not because of COVID. We put $3 trillion into the economy when he was president, working with and the Congress working together. We put $3 trillion into the economy. So don't blame it on. And what did he do with COVID? Denial and delay, responsible for thousands and thousands of people dying. So if you're going to forgive his job record because of COVID, make sure you attribute many of those deaths to him as well.
Not forgiving anything, just noting the context.
Incompetent. Forget silly and crazy and crooked and all the rest. Incompetent.
Let me just say, why do I run that clip? I run that clip because that's the Republican presidential nominee, and I thought you might have a reaction.
So there you go. Nancy Pelosi pushing back pretty strongly on Jake Tapper here. Firstly, on COVID, she didn't let Tapper make excuses for Donald Trump's terrible, terrible job record. Just brushing it all off with the, oh, well, we had COVID response. Because of COVID, that's why Trump's job record was so bad. Pelosi very accurately calls out here the reason that COVID got so bad in the United States of America is directly because of Donald Trump's inaction, his ego, and his inability to really work for solutions for the American people in any kind of way when we needed a leader at the most time ever in the history of our country, probably since World War II. And Donald Trump failed, and thousands, tens of thousands, perhaps hundreds of thousands of lives are on his hands, right? He had an opportunity to step up to the plate and be a leader for this country, and he directly failed. Instead of telling Americans things like sunlight can help you treat COVID and not get COVID, and injecting bleach into your veins was a way to treat COVID, and downplaying the effectiveness of masks. I mean, there's just all kinds of stuff that he directly did that contributed to COVID's effect on the job market in the United States being so disastrous. Now, on the other point, Tapper and CNN and some other mainstream media channels we've seen what they do is they attempt to kind of sane wash Trump. And what this does is it makes his comments seem valid. It adds credence to his arguments, and it lets Trump control the narrative, and it lets Trump control what people are discussing and the way people are discussing things. And it's totally linked to the media being based on profitability and the stories that the media runs being based on how much profit that they are going to get. Trump gave a jolt in the arm to many legacy media corporations, but none less than no more than CNN. CNN got huge amounts of advertising dollars from the Trump chaos in 2016, to the point that they actually showed an empty Trump podium while Bernie Sanders was speaking to a packed stadium full of people. And ultimately, it boils down to the fact that Donald Trump drives clicks, Donald Trump drives eyeballs to their channel, and the latest craziest thing that Donald Trump said, presenting it as some sort of valid argument or valid counterpoint to what the left is saying, is going to continue to drive eyeballs of people who are enamored with Donald Trump's antics to watch CNN. And I think that Pelosi here has the right response in asking Tapper, why would you even cover that? Why would you? It's so obvious that Kamala Harris is her cognitive issues or what have you are not worse than Joe Biden's. It's a total non-story, right? But CNN, in their quest to appear neutral and appear like they're being fair to both sides, what they do is they add legitimacy to the latest crazy remarks that Donald Trump has made, when in fact he should be ignored, right? But really, it's just really hard for the media to do so when Donald Trump gets so much clicks and activity to their news stations. CNN has gotten really bad with this, to the point that it's basically become Fox News Light. They are constantly seeking to downplay and normalize and act like Donald Trump's talking points of the day, that's what needs to be discussed, because they're just being fair to both sides of the political spectrum. When in reality, what they're doing is they're incentivizing Donald Trump to keep making these crazy remarks that even he, in his heart of hearts, doesn't believe. But he says because he knows it'll get a certain reaction from the mainstream media. Shame on CNN here. Not that I expect much journalistic integrity from them nowadays, but you would hope that they would kind of wake up and smell the coffee and realize what they're doing here. And it's good to see Nancy Pelosi push back in real time against Jake Tapper, who has become seems quite full of himself and quite smug quite often nowadays when he's doing these interviews. Nothing against the guy. He's a totally fine newscaster, I guess, but doesn't really seem like he's doing the work of journalistic integrity and presenting fair and factual information. it seems like Tapper's job is to basically drive as much hype and attention to CNN. So that's all I got for you guys in this one. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, share with someone who's into politics, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. All right, peace.